Shut up and sit down.
Boom, go, there you go. I got in literally as he took a breath, folks. I am so happy. Hello, 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 hello. It's Friday Frolic time again with me, yes. Colin, Festa 67's workshop, and him, the Foxster.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to our, I would say, fun-filled frivolity and banter, but yeah, you know us two pillocks will generate the internet waves with our inane drivel. Yes.
Yes.
So, the usual, if you'd like to help me out and keep this alive and keep the channel going, you can pop over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop or click the join button below. That gives you access to the Zoom 24/7 hangout. Dun, 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 dun. And if you want to leave a super chat, you can click the dollar sign right in the middle at the bottom of the chat next to where you type your comments, and that'll get your name in a big bold box of glorious colour, and you'll get a bit of on-screen air guitar and a bit in the kitty to help pay for all of this wonderment. Talking of the wonderful people in the Zoom with the patrons and members, let's have a looky pops who we've got in the chat.
Yes.
Sophie's in doing all the biscuits and the cookies and the muffins and all of that. Look.
Hey, Sophie.
Sophie's heard a rumour that Fox has a secret stash of sugar-free homemade chocolate muffins under his desk. Happy days.
Not for very long.
Sophie's passed me a tray of homemade dark chocolate muffins. I'll put in, scoffs them all and gets a massive sugar rush. Sophie says, super energy for tonight's live stream. And I'm like, yeah, imagine the chaos I'd cause on air.
There's one thing I don't need.
We remember that stream we did that night when I got me meds round the wrong way, didn't we? And it was like, yeah.
You took all the down ones too little and all the up ones not mine off.
Yeah, it was a bit chaotic, wasn't it, that night?
It was like me and him switched places, and he was me and I was him. It was
yeah. Fox is saying hello to everyone in the chat. You've got some sugar-free dark chocolate muffins as well. Sophie said there's a brand new truck at work. I've asked the salesman how much it cost, and he said 110,000. Big dog. That's pretty expensive. Apparently, it's only the basic model. Yeah, he's the basic model. It's like £4, and that's what we ended up with, folks.
Wait, something was said.
Bobbins is in, says greetings Earthlings. Hello Bobbins, how you doing? Cassandra is in. I put above it that I couldn't remember this month's girl's name because I am useless. So yeah, Cassandra it is.
Cassandra.
Marcus is in, purveyor of the best beard in the world.
The beard action.
Saying, evening Cole Fox and chap. Hello Marcus, lovely to see you in, mate. Always good to see you, mate. He's been passed a tray of homemade blueberry muffins. There you go. James is in, says evening, morning. Colin Fox, all in chat. Festa and Fox hugs. Hello, James, and big hugs to Alicia and Shania. I hope you're all doing well over in Chateau Chapman. So I did that.
Yes. Bit French there, a bit classy.
I know, proper, isn't it? Sophistication.
You're using your little glycels?
Absolutely. He's saying hello to Cassandra and Sophie. Lord of the Manor is in, Sir PJ of Lewis is saying, morning, Colin Fox. Oh, the Friday Frolicking Frolickers on the Friday Frolicking chat. I got that out without dropping a naughty.
Yes, I'm very impressed. Have you been, if I didn't know better, I thought you would have rehearsed it.
Dude, I am so proud of myself because when I saw that, I'm in my head going, don't swear.
Now you need to talk about people that pull the feathers out of pheasants.
Pheasant. Yeah. Sophie says, yay, Friday Frolics. Dominic is in. Dominic Cuckoo saying evening. Hello, Dom. How you doing, mate? Love to you and your missus, mate. I hope you're both doing all right, mate. James is saying hello to Marcus. What's going on there? He's also saying hello to Jamesy boy who's popped in. Hello, Jamesy. How you doing? Dominic saying hello to Sophie. Everyone's saying hello to PJ as well. Pete McDubs is in, saying hello. Hello, Pete. How you doing, mate? Welcome to life as you'll never see it again. It's us two pilchards on air. He'll be sitting there going, why on earth did I click play on this one?
I got myself into. Oh.
Yeah, be careful what button you click on YouTube, because it could be us two pilchards again.
Oh, yeah.
But welcome, mate. Jeff Light says, hi, Cole and Fox and everyone in Chatland. Hello, Jeff. How you doing, geezer? Big love and hugs to you and Maggie. Big hug for Maggie as well. I hope you're both keeping well. PJ saying, Moldy Cassandra. I remembered this month's name, so he's better than me because I am useless. Jeff is saying AV is fine. Thank you very much, Jeff. That was going to be my next question, but instead I'll go in with bench, belly, beverage, biscuit and all of that gubbins, folks. Yes. What's on the bench? What's in your belly? What is your beverage of choice? Have you bought anything as well? Bench, belly, beverage, bought. See what I did?
Yeah.
So, yeah, have you bought anything this week? If not, whatever.
We don't just mean model stuff. We mean everything you've bought. Every single thing we need to know.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously Bill's probably built another bench because it's built.
Built and ordered.
Exactly. Everyone's saying hello to Jamesy, saying hello to PJ there. Dominic says, yes, we're okay. Brilliant. Glad to hear it, lovely. Dominic, mate. Glad to hear you're all right, mate. And everyone's saying good morning to Dominic. Right. PJ says, morning, Maggie and Jeff. Come on, you Ferrari. See what you did there, mate. Luckily for me, I watched it this afternoon. Otherwise, I'd have slapped you with a wet kipper. Bench Infiltrator, Space Marines, belly is homemade dark chocolate muffins and beverages, milk, says Sophie. Yeah, I got a bit of filming to do on Monday. I got sent something, which, so I got to film that. So I got a little bit of a review to film, mate. Yeah, go.
Well, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works and say, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm fine. No, you don't want to do me first because that sounds rude, mate.
It's too late. I've done you first now.
Yeah, exactly. I wondered why I had a bit of a twitch, a bit of a Dreyfus twitch and an eye quiver.
That's just the way you sit.
Fine and dandy, mate. Yeah, you know me. I've been prepping stuff to voice over to release on the channel and going through video footage and trying to just get some kind of planning going on for the channel for the next few months, just to get some more content up there, because it's all sat on a hard drive at the moment and it's no good there. So I'm now dedicated X amount of time during the week for voiceovers and stuff like that. So yes, I'll sit and do that and start putting them videos up and getting it all out there, because the part works are coming to a close on some of them. The build is finished its sequence, and I only want to do one at a time of those now because they kind of took over.
Yeah.
And, my passion, which is, scale modelling, has kind of suffered because of it, and I don't want that. I want to try to keep my stimulus going, because partworks are great, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for them and all of that, but all I'm doing is assembling, whereas with this stuff I'm creating, so which is what I need. I've got to stimulate my brain. PJ says, well done that, man. I'll catch you out one night. No, I sat and watched it to Savo because I couldn't sleep, mate. I stayed up and watched that. James has got belly, pork loin steaks, bench upstairs with the Lego Beauty and Beast castle, beverage, Pepsi Cherry, bought 3D print file of Wu Chang from the Wu Chang Fallen Feathers game. There you go.
Fallen Feathers.
Cassandra says, belly, chicken burger, 4 spud waffles, use 2 as the bun for the burger. Happy days with beans earlier. It's got the Hueys then, the old. Just finished off the beans on top of the toast. Bench a 70-second Revell. Search and rescue Huey. Beverage is a cola.
All I've got in my head now is bird's eye potato waffles, waffly versatile.
Yeah. So, being that you're in jazz and singing mode, how's you and how's Mom?
I'm all right. Been a bit off today, I was telling you earlier. I've been a bit off today.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit low energy today. I'm not really feeling very well, so I might actually be quite quiet tonight. No, I'm joking. I won't be at all. It's not going to happen, is it?
No.
Mama Wolf is fine. She got up at 3:30 today and she went to bed at 9. Lazy cow bag. Life, innit?
Good girl.
It's the life, innit? I tell you.
Does she use distraction techniques? Get you to go and do something and she snook off?
Well, see, she knows that she normally goes to bed around about 11 o'clock when it's a stream night, see. So she's in bed. I don't have to, worry about her while I'm streaming.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll just go for a bit of a lie down. I'm like, well, there's no point going for a lie down now.
Yeah.
Because I'll have to get you up at 10. Then you've got to go to bed at 11. You just...
Absolutely.
Just knowing, looking at her.
James, he says, yeah, I've done a few part works, but prefer scratch building mainly as no kits. Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough that they reached out and sent me a load for nothing, and I'm immensely grateful for that. And I want to reiterate that. But if it wasn't for the fact that I did modifications on a lot of the builds and printed some replacement parts and detail up stuff and did a bit of painting and additional electronics, I would have struggled for stimulation, and I got back into doing a little diorama and some other bits behind the scenes, and I'm like, yeah, I really kind of missed that kind of part of the hobby. And my stash hadn't been getting built, and I'm like, yeah, I need to scale it down a bit. So I've let them know, and they're like, yeah, not a problem, mate. And yeah,
there's only so much fun you can have when all you're doing is screwing. Wait,
that's what we did there. James, he's bought a new soldering station with iron and hot air. Oh, nice one, mate. And he says, yeah, done the same, mate. Exactly, because, sitting there doing stuff like, this has been sat on my 3D print bed for about 6 months. I've got off-air, Fox knows what I'm currently scratch building off-air.
Yeah.
I'm modifying, and I've been filming it all, and once the build is complete, I'll release all the videos then, and then basically all I'll have in my video archives will be what I'm currently building, whereas at the moment I've got builds I filmed 2 years ago still to voice over, and it's like where I've been filming the part works and then catching up with E-models and that, my own stuff has fallen by the wayside, and I need to tickle my own ivories into gear.
Yes.
And I'll get back into that. So that's what I'm doing. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling again. What am I doing tonight? Obviously, I've just said I'm going to be doing a bit of concrete on the digger, just putting in some greys and things like that on this little diggery pots that I was building. And, yeah. So that's what I'm up to. What are you up to, dear?
As it's the only thing I'm painting at the minute, I'm carrying on painting the orc. Oh God, my words have fallen out. Tiger Wagon Mark 2.
Yeah.
I'm just currently trying to figure out what highlight colour to use.
Highlight colour.
It's like I may have to actually mix a colour.
Oh, you go careful.
I know. Oh, what? Oh, well, Frankie Howard then.
James, he says, I do scratch build Clyde paddle steamers with arse. Get them in the gallery, mate, in the Festa 67's workshop group, mate.
Yeah, do it now.
Because we will be dropping gallery stuff in the live stream schedule at some point. So get them in there, mate. Jeff says, Belly earlier was fish and chips with coleslaw. Coleslaw.
I like coleslaw. I love coleslaw.
Followed by raspberries and cream. Beverage is our Friday evening usuals. Lemonade for Maggie. And my lemonade had a splash even of Bacardi.
Now, if he hadn't told us that, he would have been secret lemonade.
Yeah. Can I do splash?
See what you did there.
Yeah.
Right. I think I've decided. This is Dark Reaper with a dry brush over it of the Fang to give it a little bit of a blue tint.
The Fang.
I didn't really know what highlight colour to use for a very subtle dry brush, but I'm just going to add some white to Dark Reaper.
Dark Reaper.
Just in the middle, just to give it that post-shading effect, I think. I'm going to sacrifice a pot of Dark Reaper. I am the Dark Reaper.
You ledge.
And I ordered some more Masters brush cleaner. I was telling Festa earlier. Ordered some more Masters brush cleaner because I've got like dregs left. And what's been delayed at customs that should have arrived today? Darn it.
You've been stalking the driver again, haven't you?
No, I was woken up at 4 this morning when my phone pinged and it's like, you've had a shipment delayed at customs.
Yeah. Well, when I got notified that I had a delivery coming the other day, I was like, I haven't ordered anything. And yeah.
Did something arrive?
Yeah. Said that earlier. You was obviously not paying attention.
I was
again.
listening. I was building up the story and the...
Yeah. I'm not going to say on air until I filmed it, because what's the point of filming it?
I know.
But,
lean into it, the excitement. I can't use that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was totally unexpected. So, supplier, would you like to do a review on this? Yeah, no worries. I don't mind.
Very nice.
Yeah. And then you sit there and you think, how are they discovered or come across me then?
Yeah.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? It's a bit like when Phantom reach out, isn't it? You know, it's like, how do they come across you? I mean, with that one, it was kind of saw the Rossi bike and you're a little bit eccentric, which I think's a polite way of saying I'm nuts.
Yeah, that bloke's a nutter. Send him stuff.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's something different.
Well, that didn't do anything.
Sophie has learned how to use a Citadel contrast paint the other day. Happy days. How are you finding them, Sophie?
Beauty of the contrast paints is you can use them so many ways other than just the official way. There's so many uses.
Well, that's what I do. I use them as glazes to...
Yeah, you can use them as glazes, washes. Just like watercolours, aren't they? So good. I've used them quite a bit, but I've never actually just used them as they're intended to be used. That's a funny thing. It's not a big enough brush, is it? No, not really. I need a proper brush.
As I was saying, I use them as blends, etc. And been using them on the Orc Tiger as well, that we've been doing. So, yeah. See, I made that mistake again. I paused for a breath, didn't I?
Did you pause for a breath rather foolishly?
Yeah. I should realise, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah, there's no breathing when I'm around. Put enough water in there, you spoon. I love learning new things about the hobby, says Sophie. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. If I felt I couldn't learn anything, what's the point of carrying on the hobby?
Yeah. Unless you just, unless there's just a part of it that you'd happy to be doing because you love it. But there's always more fun to be had by doing something new. I'm kind of the person that can quite happily carry on doing what I'm doing because I'm enjoying it. But
you get into your comfort zone and that's it. Whereas I have to keep trying new techniques or new types of genre because otherwise I get stale.
Yeah, you need to stimulate that learning gland.
Yeah. You know, there's always someone who'll put a comment in the chat. Have you tried this technique, Cole? When I use that, I try using this technique. And it's like, I'm going to file that under, give that a go, because my way isn't always the best way, you know. And if you didn't take advice and try new techniques, then what's the point of doing this hobby? Because it's all a learning curve, isn't it?
I mean, like, when I came back into it in, about 2011 or 12 or something, I've been away for like 25, 30 years. And like before then, I was like literally black wash, dry brush metal, weathered.
Yeah.
You know? But it was looking at other people's work and studying their methods that got when I got back into it, that got me everything I learned. And it's the best way to learn things. You just watch people work and see what they do.
Learn by doing.
Yeah. And the good thing for you, Sophie, is if you've learned how to use contrast paints the official way, now you can have fun thinking of other ways to use them that's nothing to do with that. It's all the fun to be had. See how you can make it your own. I used contrast paints to get a Borderlands metal effect. Because I didn't just want to put... And they work really well if you want to replicate sort of Borderlands metal effects. It's like, that was unexpected. The way the greys work. Quite nice. Where are we to? Best people are nuts, I should know, says the Jamesy boy.
Yeah.
Teeks is in. He says, Oude manatees. Oude manatees.
There you go.
Hey, Teeks.
Hello, Teeks. How you doing, mate? Lovely to see you in, mate. Hope you're keeping well.
Yep.
Hope Mrs. Teeks is okay and the kids are all doing great, mate.
Yeah. Cassandra says, I've been watching videos learning how to paint glowing effects. The videos are on 40k figures, but I've seen how I can use it for things like aircraft engines using the afterburners.
Oh, yeah. Some of the neon effects are stunning.
Yep.
Absolutely stunning. I was watching one the other night, the guy doing all the neon for the guns and stuff like that, and the other one where the guy was doing all the lava, you know.
Lava. Yeah.
Different ways of doing it, isn't it? You know, we all know, you know, a green earth and things like that, crackle paints and that, but it was the effects he was doing on the base with paint before he applied it, and it was like stunning to see.
It's funny how, like, you know, object source lighting effects can often be not very good at all. And not many people master them, but lava is one of those things that it always looks good. It just always looks good when you try and do it. It's just like, yeah, it works. Because it's not like a directional light source, so you're not faking anything. It's just glowy stuff, and it's like, that really works. Get myself some fresh water because I didn't put enough in my cup. One sec. Ooh.
Right, quick catch up with the chat, then I can get a word in. Belly, there's one I read earlier. What we got there? Cassandra's been watching videos learning how to paint glowing effects. Videos are on 48K figures. I think that one was read out as well. Teeks is saying hello. Let's just have a scroll up just to see whether I missed anything further up. That was James's belly and bench, which I'm happy. I seem to be up to date today.
Yeah, I think you're up to date. Right, this colour may not work, so let's do it on the butt. Let's see me underbelly. It's a good thing about tanks. You can test out colours on the underside where nobody ever sees it.
Oh yeah, I did all my streaking underneath on the belly because
I've heard about you doing your streaking.
Yeah, I kind of wanted it to look like it had been scraping over rubble and detritus and stuff. So, what better place to do it than out of sight, out of mind?
Yep. Which brush do I want?
I'm just stippling this grey onto the bricks because I want some of the black still to be visible. But I want to use, you know, five different greys just to build up different tonal changes in the rocks, etc. Because I've got light dust going on here as well, concrete dust and things like that. So I just want to kind of give it a little bit of tonal difference there.
A little bit of stipple, 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 stipple.
And some of the concrete will have graffiti on it as well, because most concrete structures in the modern world do get graffitied by taggers and that, so there'll be a little bit of personalised graffiti going on there.
Yeah. Are you going to do that by hand or do decal stuff?
No, I'll do it by hand.
Cool.
Oh yeah. This scale, I might as well do it by hand.
Yep.
Why not?
Aye.
There's something different in it.
Colour doesn't really stand out.
Could throw in a couple of posters as well, but...
Oh, yeah.
So there is that. So I could throw something in like that, you know, a bit of Frolic posterage that's been applied to a bit of knackered concrete.
A bit of Easter eggs.
Yeah. There will be a classic one in there, so
Oh yeah.
why not? Got to do it, ain't you?
It must be done.
Actually, someone in the chat, they'll get it, their graffiti will be getting put on here as well. So
Oh.
they're now all going to be trying to guess which one it is. But yeah, why not? Makes it a bit personal, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did it on the container ship where I was using people's channel logos as labels on the containers.
That's right. I remember that.
You know, and it
That
was
quite cool.
yeah. It's just something different, and it gives something back, doesn't it? So
Yeah. You like giving back to the community, don't you?
I try my best to. I don't always remember to, but on something like this, I can get away with it because it's in context. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
if it was a shiny car, you wouldn't be able to put someone else's logo on a specific rally car because
It wouldn't be accurate.
it defeats the object, you know, because when you're doing something like that that is representative of a real object, you kind of want to get it right, you know. But
Yeah.
something like this, I can throw in things like posters and logos or a little bit of graffiti that, you know, tag that they may have wrote, you know. So just my way of acknowledging individuals and patrons and things like that. Because why not?
When I was doing the knackered transit build for E-Models, I was going to make a decal of, or get a decal made of my old tax disc because I still had my last tax disc. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it. I've got like a little Easter egg of my last tax disc.
It's like when I did my transit, I did it of me sat in the bench in the back of the transit, building the transit.
Yep.
And you know, and it was just something that was slightly different, you know.
Yeah. That could go down many levels.
And literally days after doing the build, I went and changed all my branding. It was like,
Yeah.
I've often thought of revisiting it and re-wrapping it. Yeah, so
Why not?
yeah, so there is that. So I can go and give it a revisit. I always remember Frankie Goes to Hobbywood. I've never seen a decal pulled around like you did on that bubble car. It's like, yeah.
That's why your nickname is the Decal Whisperer.
Exactly. But again, that's stuff I miss doing, creating stuff like that, because it's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
It's where the creativity comes in, rather than just sticking things together or screwing things together in part works.
Exactly. You know. And they were good about it, as you know, because, you know, we deal with the same companies and,
Yeah.
you know, and they're like, yeah, totally get that. Is anything there taking your fancy? Not at the moment. I've got, you know, still got Batmobile that I'm doing. I've still got the Ford Falcon that's from Hachette, or Hachette. So, yeah, you know, the big Mustang is coming to a close. Eleanor's built now. I've just got the ramp and everything to build, and I've got the engine modification video because I used my own engine that I did on Fusion 360 and swapped it out for, you know, a better detailed engine that was actually correct. And yeah, so Batmobile, I've got 14 episodes there to film, you know, because I got a little bit behind with that and the Mustang, but I'm ahead on the channel because I've got videos on the channel that are right up to December release date. So the ones I'm going to be filming over the next few weeks are all for next year's release schedule. But it just gives me a chance then to voice over all of the scale model stuff ready to drop into them time slots. So
I've I've only got the DeLorean left now, and I'm waiting on a missing pack, like 90 something to 90 something. I've got up to like 130 sitting there waiting, but I can't do them till I've got this other pack, like 5 issues before.
Yeah, I had it recently with all the Ferraris. They went out of sequence because they was having issues getting some of the other ones to me, you know. They were stuck overseas, and so it kind of went out of sequence. Luckily for me, they bulk sent them, so I filled them all, and they're now getting sorted into sequence on the playlist. But the release schedule will be slightly out. But once the series has ended, the playlist has been sorted now, so it will rectify itself. Yeah. Once them issues get released, so they'll be back in sequence then. But this happens, you know. I mean, Batmobile. I paused filming because there was a delay on a couple of issues that were on back order type of thing, you know. So I couldn't progress any further because I didn't have the framework for the body shell to sit on. So.
Yeah, you just kind of get stuck because you can't do the next issue because you haven't done the one before.
Exactly, but then it all turns up in once. Well, you know this when you've had it. Yeah. You know, they'll give you that email of, it's coming from a different country, supply and demand, and it's stuck at customs, and
Yep. These things happen. But I think what I'm going to do with mine is, because I'm going to have to do some custom work when it's finished to hide the fact that I rather stupidly got super glue or CA glue all over the windscreen. So I've got a plan of what I'm going to be doing. So what I might just do is like not film the last 20 or 30 issues or 10 or 15 issues, because it's just sticking stuff together, you know, screwing it together like we said. And I'll actually then just film. I'll be like, right, we've been away for a while. Here's the finished thing. I finished it, but this is what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
Because I goofed and I need to do some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of you died inside that day, didn't it?
Yeah. So I thought, well, I won't film any more of the actual building now because there's no point. Apart from that, about 25 or 30 of the issues are just building the tracks for the display. It's like,
yeah. Hugh Gordon's in saying hello. Hello, Hugh. How you doing, mate?
Hello.
Jamesy says, my friend is a farmer. He made a paint booth out of old farm machinery. I asked him, what's that? Pointed to something. He said, oh, that's the extractor fan. Oh, bless him. But Hugh says, hey, got here.
Hey, Jamesy. All right.
Jamesy says, life is short. I'll sleep all I need when I'm dead. Nothing better to do then. Laugh out loud. Yeah, happy days, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
See, Bill is someone who there's never nothing to do, because if Bill's got nothing to do, he just gets another bench. There's always a bench to be built.
Happy days, yeah. He's always assembling something. All them benches. Yep. Someone's got to build them.
King of benches.
What he does, he goes down to his local DIY shop and sits there and goes, right, you got any flat packs you need putting up? I'll build them.
I like building them. Have them. Do you realise there must be, it seems unbelievable, but there must somewhere be someone who absolutely loves building flat pack furniture. It must be somebody somewhere must exist that for some weird reason enjoys building flat pack furniture.
I do like a flat pack, I must admit.
Oh, really? I hate it. It's like, oh. I'm always very tempted by the offer when they say, we'll build it for you. I'm like, no, I can't. I've got to build it myself.
Yeah, my boy, he's been putting a load of IKEA stuff in his room, and I've been helping him, and I love every minute of it. You know, and he's doing all the assembly stuff, and I'm his lackey basically. But
yeah, you're the lad, aren't you?
Yeah, but I am sort of one eye over the shoulder, looking at the instructions, and he'll scratch his head on something, and I go, look at the picture, look at the parts. Imagine it being assembled in your head. Right, and then you go, yeah, I can see what it is now. He solves the problem, so to speak. Because, you know, dads are dads. We all sort of end up wanting to pick it up and do it ourselves. But, you know, it's like...
You've got to let them do it for themselves.
Absolutely, you know, he's age, he's fine and dandy with it, you know.
Yep.
Only every now and then he'll look at something and he'll go, have I been a spesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but he's having fun.
You have to let them make their own mistakes.
But it's the game of Jenga where he's had to move stuff around to get it built and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's that typical bloke trying to build like a 7-foot wardrobe in a 3-foot space. It's like,
Yeah.
if you've got a little bit more floor space, look at your build area. Make sure you've got plenty of room to manipulate and maneuver.
Oh, I do that. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. But he was fine. He just got on and done it, you know, and it's looking mint.
I'm the person who builds the Detolf cabinet and then reads a thing that says it requires 2 people to build it. I'm like, now you tell me.
Yeah.
I got it done. It wasn't that bad, but it was still like, whew.
The bits that always make me laugh, and it used to be the same with car manuals in Haynes manuals. Simply put this on here, and it's like, yeah, you did it on a brand new car out the factory. This is 25 years old, full of rust and road dirt, and
all the crud underneath.
You know that. To undo this bolt, you need special tool, 000, blah 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 blah. And it's like, no, you don't. A socket within a socket and a long bolt, that'll pull it out.
It's like, how many times have you used a spoon as a tool?
Yeah,
many times.
Why would I go to a dealer and pay 50 quid for a special tool when I can give it a clump?
Yeah.
You know, does make me laugh. It's like, yeah.
Spoons do seem to be like a universal tool, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Bone-handled knives can be used on automobiles.
Yeah. Fork handles.
Yeah.
Handles of forks. You see what I did there? I think I've managed to make the most undry brushable paint ever.
Why am I not surprised?
All I did was add some white, some Corax white to dark reprint. It just doesn't seem to want to. It just like off the brush instantly.
There's the problem. Corax white, mate.
Yeah.
It's very chalky.
Oh, no. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. Was it? Oh, no, it was White Scar, sorry, not Corax white.
I was going to say Corax white is notoriously chalky, and it's one of their most complained about paints.
Yes, that's why they eventually got rid of the spray can and replaced it with whatever the new one is.
Yeah. Yeah, went through a very poor stage, did Corax white. It was basically a pot of chalk, wasn't it? It was like, yeah.
I saw a great picture, talking to Games Workshop, a great picture today. Somebody put a Blue Sky post up and it was like, Games Workshop's best moment ever. And it was a screenshot from their Twitter feed. And at the top, it was, this is going back a couple of years, it was on the death of Queen Elizabeth. It said, Games Workshop extends its condolences to the royal family, blah, 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 blah. And then right below it was a picture of like some tabletop stuff and it says, get ready to skirmish. The Queen is dead, get ready to skirmish.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Timing was everything with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, faux pas, 10 out of 10.
Classic moment. Oops. Always looks a bit ungainly at this point in the process because I've not painted all the other stuff yet. And I'm like, oh, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
But you have to remind yourself I've got all the colour bits to paint over the top, so I hope it all comes together.
Yeah, but we'll get to that stage in a Warhammer build where it's like, it looks like badly applied eye makeup, doesn't it? And it's like,
Although if I try and paint eyes, it always looks like badly applied eye makeup, even when it's finished. I don't do eyes. I just don't do eyes. When it comes to minis, I've learnt the best way to paint eyes is just not to bother. Just a bit of shade in the recess and there you go, done.
Hold it upside down.
Yeah, I've tried. I just haven't got the skills to actually not complete. Because the one thing I can never do is spend ages painting the face and then ruin that entire paint job by messing up the eyes. Because I get this little mental block where I start painting the eye, and I'm panicking to think if I don't want to have to repaint the whole face again, and then I just goes wrong.
That's why I always do the eyes first.
your eyes first.
And they get varnish to protect them. Do the rest of the face. Always do my eyes first.
Aye. See what I did there.
Because if you boo-boo it, you're not wrecking an entire paint job. You're just wrecking a pair of eyes.
But I was just never good enough to do even then the eyes. It's one thing, I accept my limitation. I can't do it.
That's one in a minute.
Ooh. Tried for a long time, never got the hang of it. So I admire people that can.
Guy who did Johnny Bravo, I've been wearing sunglasses purely and simply because he struggled with drawing eyes.
Makes sense.
So I put a pair of sunglasses on the character. You ain't got to worry about it then, have you?
Yeah. When I did my Borderlands Cesabe, and it had I don't know, 2 or 3 inch tall figure, because I did it out of scale kind of thing. And it had this 2 or 3 inch tall figure, and it had like a manga style face, so it's all smooth with no real space, no real shapes for the eyes. I'm like, I can't paint eyes on that. There's nothing to paint. It's just an anime face. So in the end, I was like, well, I'm doing a Borderlands style. I'll just give him a solid metal welding mask. There you go. Covered his entire face up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know how to paint the skin again, because there's no texture. It's just smooth. Like, yeah, I'll just cover it up. And it kind of worked. If in doubt, give them a welding mask of some sort.
Exactly. Always a way around it.
Yeah. It's like, can't cook, won't cook. Can't paint eyes, won't paint eyes. It's one of the things that people sometimes say to you. People get hung up on the things they can't do.
Yeah.
We've both spoken to people that, you know, they've got 1 or 2 things that maybe they're not very good at, and they get really hung up on that. And it's like, don't worry about it. Just focus on the stuff you're good at, and you'll find other ways to do the bits you struggle with. Nobody's perfect. Nobody gets everything right.
I had one person when I was early days of live stream. I was doing an E-Models build at the time. And they was like, oh, I'd love to be able to do that. You know, so I sent them a StreamYard link. I said, come on in, come in, hang out, because they was doing the same build. Were stuck on trying to do the paint effect I was doing on the E-Models.
Yeah.
And I said, all right. And I just sent them a link, said, come on in, let's get it done. Let's talk you through it. And they was blown away by that, you know. And I went, well, no, you're doing the same build. So, you know, I'll sit and spend a bit of time and give you a little bit of one-on-one on how I do it. And once they realised and could see that they was actually achieving it, they was made up.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
Yeah, a lot of it's just confidence, isn't it? Confidence. Once you told, you know how to do it, and you do it, and you succeed, your confidence grows.
Exactly.
I've always said it's not a question of I haven't got the talent to do X, Y, or Z. It's just a case of I haven't effectively been shown which tools to use and how to use them yet.
Yeah.
You know, once you're shown how to do something and given the right tools.
Well, look at the amount of stick you was copying for the Lehman Russ when we did that together.
Yep.
You know, well, what makes you think that you have to teach the bloke how to paint? And it's like kind of missing the whole concept of what this is about.
Yeah.
You know, I kept busting his nads on how he was achieving certain brush effects because I come from an airbrushing background.
Yeah.
So, you know, I used to do all of that with an airbrush, but I wanted to get into brush painting because, you know, my dexterity of my hands, etc., you know, and I just got fed up with constantly dropping airbrushes and the whole cleaning out process when I could see that it could be done with a brush. I used to bend his ear roll. In the end, I think he got fed up with it and said, look, let's just do a...
Why don't I just show you?
Yeah, let's show. And then it was, well, tell you what, then I'll jump in with you on your Warhammer Sunday slot, and we can do, you know, a series of shows which gives you content on your channel and kills the 2 birds with 1 stone, and that was it really. And but for a while, for a good few shows in, he was getting messages going, oh, you're a little bit up yourself, thinking that You know, there you are giving this, I'm teaching him how to paint, and he's like, you're kind of missing the point. That's not what it's about. I think, that's why we had to explain it every single show, because
to the heart of thinking.
Well, it wasn't just that. People were misinterpreting it. I don't want to offend viewers because, you know, that's a little bit.
Well, I mean, no, but we explained it in most of them, but some people still didn't.
Yeah, but I'll reel that back for you because, you don't want to offend the viewer, but one or two people just slightly perhaps didn't see the first show and missed the preface of what the show was about. Let's word it that way.
It's like, you know, we had to say that the whole point was I wasn't showing how to paint a Lehman Russ. It was how I paint a Lehman Russ. It wasn't that I thought it was the right way or the best way to paint it. It was just, this is how I do it. You don't know these methods. Once you've learnt these methods, you can use them. You can find your own methods. You can look at other people's methods, combine them, mix them. You know, it's just it's just the same as watching a YouTube video, except you're able to talk to the person doing the video. Well,
it's no different than Insane Blade off air. You know, Fox didn't scratch build back then.
Yeah.
We was chatting about something. He's like, I'd love to be able to do that. There was something you was building at the time. And you was like,
I can't remember what. Yeah.
I think it was your own Bane Blades, one of the ones you sold, wasn't it? And I said, well, why don't you scratch build it? Oh, I ain't got the skills. So you got some styrene. Yeah, you got a pair of scissors. Yeah, you got a knife. Yeah, come on then. Let's go through it and show you how to quickly build something to do it. And that was it. Once you saw that you could do it, you was fine.
Yeah, the confidence, because it was always this question of I didn't have the confidence that I'd be able to do it, but I'd done little things before, but nothing major.
Yeah,
it's like, I couldn't. It's like, there you go, just have a go.
Oh, there you go.
Good point.
Once you could see that, you know, you could think of something. It's like, okay, you now have to create that. So start with this, and then build it up so that you add bits to it, and it will give you a 3-dimensional shape.
Yeah.
Hey, what? So just try it. Cut a bit here, cut a bit there. Give it a scribe, give it a bend, quick bit of extra thin. Now you can build round that the shape you want. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it was thinking in 3 dimensions was something I wasn't that good at.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about, not thinking in 3 dimensions, but thinking how these pieces of flat card can become this object of this particular shape. That was not my skill.
I mean, I was doing one recently off air when we was in an hangout, and I'm lucky I can sit in a 3-dimensional space and draw a shape and close my eyes and see the shape. And then I'll just sit and scratch build it. I'm lucky like that. I used to do it with the trikes, where I had 2 white walls in the workshop, and I'd sit the customer against it in an office chair and milk crate for the engine, and I would envisage the shape. And then my mate at the time, I had him with some whiteboard markers, mark it on the wall, you know, and that became the frame, you know, and I would use that to formulate pipe cuts and things like that, you know. And it's all I'm doing is scaling it down into scale model scale. And once I went through it with Fox, and he suddenly like, oh yeah, I get it now. The penny dropped it. And, you know, he's not stupid. He's an intelligent fella at the end of the day. But he got himself ravelled up in the overthinking it stage. Yeah. And I said, you're thinking about it too much. You're trying to overcomplicate the task.
Yeah, you just need to get the knife, get the card, cut and go.
Yeah, it's like Dave, when I first met Dave, getting the saw out. I said, don't think about it, just cut it. Because if you sit and think about it, you'll pause, you won't do it.
Yeah.
What if it goes wrong? I said, styrene, glue it back together.
I must admit, since you taught me that, not with scratch building, but I've got a little bit better at like just building. I still do things like strips of plastic and rivets, and that's about it. But, you know, I built the bottom of that. I built, you know, the bottom of that and stuff. But even with painting now, I've got to the point where I got more brash, and I'm like, I wonder if this will work. Just do it.
Yeah. If it don't work, paint over it. That's what I was saying to you about my cromlech. If I don't like the paint job when it's done, I'll just repaint it.
Yeah. Like, I've not actually planned any of these colours or this painting method for this tank. I'm just kind of going, hey, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'll just wing it.
If it comes out good, it does. If it comes out like absolute gash, then it's all right. I can still
the end of the day, it's a
Story up.
model kit. You can just hole it or just paint straight over it.
That is the beauty of big fat resin kits that are all just solid blocks. They're easy to...
TK's off to go to bed. See you later, Teeks. Thanks for popping in.
See you, Takes.
What have we got? Someone's asked a question there. Sophie says, I learned a lot from asking silly questions. There's never a silly question, Sophie.
No.
You
No
know,
such thing as a silly question.
I used to always say to people, I'd rather you ask me the same question 10 times. The one time you don't answer it, you go off and you achieve what you wanted to achieve.
Yep.
So my work is complete. You know, that's how I see it.
There are no silly questions. Because at the end of the day, you know, whatever you know and you take for granted that somebody else doesn't know, at some point you didn't know that either.
Exactly. We've all had to learn.
Yeah.
Tony over at Helga35 is always fascinated when I do wood grain. He loves it. He's like, dude, I'd love to be able to do that. I said, but you can. You can if you tried. You know, and it's one of them, you know, and you go through the different stages. And I sent him a load of pictures, stage 1, stage 2, this is the grain, this is that. I said, it's all about that. I said, then whilst it's wet, drag it in one direction with your brush and it will drag the grain and elongate it like wood grain. Oh, really? That simple? I went, yeah.
Yeah. So many techniques are actually a lot more simple than the end results.
Exactly. He was like, dude. Right. And he, you know, he sent a picture. Here, what do you think of this? I said, brilliant. There you go.
Yeah.
You know, you can now do it.
Yeah. You are now a man, my child.
And he's never built a kit since that's needed wood grain. That's his frustration. It's
No,
like,
that's true.
Yeah.
I'll ping my thing off. Oh, time to get the super glue out.
Super glue, oh, the glue.
I pinged my end off.
Oh, what you like?
Ich bin Sophie says, measure twice, cut once. Exactly.
Exactly.
PJ says, do or do not. There is no try. Let's go back and see what we're up to.
Exactly, mate.
My chat kind of stops for some reason.
Yeah, mine's done it again. I need to refresh it on the iPad. But
Yeah.
keeps doing it.
Yeah. Hugh Gordon says, keyboard still playing up. Jamesy Boy says, life is short, I'll sleep. Oh, we've done that one. Fox, can't you polish the glue off that bit? Says Teeks. I don't know which bit. But if there's a blob of glue somewhere, CA glue, it'll probably just get covered weathering. That's why I didn't bother cleaning it up.
You've not got a fiberglass pen? One of them?
Well, yeah, it's too late now. I'm painting it. But there's like a little bit there, but it doesn't matter because it's going to get dirt and mud on there. So you're not going to see it anyway.
Never too late.
On the seamy underbelly, it just adds to the texture of dirt and mud. Jamesy Boy says, my mind is always too active to sleep, always thinking how to get around problems when scratch building.
Oh, mate, as soon as my head hits the pillar, I'm like, yeah, something will pop into my head, and it's like...
Sophie says, I was thinking of building a 5-man Space Marine unit and calling them the Black Pearls in honour of Captain Marcus.
Yeah, he'll like that.
Yeah. Jamesy says, I did vehicle mechanics at college. First thing we were told is course split in 2 parts, practical and theory, 70-30 split. As theory is fine in theory, but never works in practice.
Yeah.
Sophie says a tub of race bone is lumpy. Yeah, it's quite a lumpy paint. Whites are often lumpy, but just that's because how white paints work.
Well, it's different pigment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's completely different the way that the binders and it's always chalky and stuff. So whites are always horrible. If in doubt, give it a go, says Hugh Gordon.
Exactly, Hugh.
My glass is never half full or half empty. It's always empty before I stop. Jamie's Boy says, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Robert the Bruce with the spider. Is it Robert the Bruce? Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Hugh Gordon says, try chewing, Cotter. I learn a lot from asking silly questions, says Sophie. I think you've done that one.
Yeah.
Hugh says, I seldom ask, I investigate.
Yeah, he's like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Sophie says, I would love to learn how to do chipping. Easier than you think.
Exactly.
Hammer and chisel, Sophie, says Hugh Gordon. Ha ha, so we did that. I'll put that over there until I glue it back on the base, because Spondy Face here broke it off the base, so never mind. Moving on. Running out of space here.
Chipping's one of them, and it is less is more.
There's tons of different ways to do it, and each way just gives sort of a different result, but they all look great. It's hard to get it completely wrong. You can get it wrong, but it's hard to get it like so wrong that you have to strip your model down. Because there's always, it's like a natural process, isn't it? It's always going to have variations and different.
Absolutely.
You can't really go too wrong.
Biggest mistake I find people make with chipping is they end up forming a pattern and everything ends up symmetrical, and it's like it's totally random.
Yeah,
You know, turn the model around. You know, if you're chipping a digger, don't just do it face up. Turn it upside down or turn it to one side. You know, do chips and then turn it again. Just randomise it. You know. And
that's why I got back into using a sponge for the basic, the initial sort of chip shapes, because then it's kind of random a little bit.
Because the human brain will always create a pattern. If you keep something in the same orientation, it will always end up creating a pattern. But if you turn it again, and turn it again, and do jaunty angles, and that way you don't end up forming a pattern.
Yeah, the human brain's not very good at doing random, is it?
No, that's right. That's why, like, when I do figures, I hold them upside down to do the eyes, because if it's that way up, your brain, you're desperately trying to get the eyes in line, and you'll always end up with one skew width. Whereas if you spin it upside down, you know, for some reason, it works.
I've just given myself a massive flashback to A-level art, because I've just remembered that I was doing a painting at A-level art, and it was, I can't remember what the theme was. It was some sort of serious theme, but it was supposed to be also a reference to Picasso's Blue Period, without actually just looking like Picasso. It just said, do a reference, but it doesn't have to be like a Picasso-like painting. Okay, so I found a photograph in the Sunday Times. This is going back 40 years. And it was, I don't know what it was some civil war somewhere, but there's basically a priest stood in the middle of the street, and there was like an old lady in a proper like babushka style, like, or one of the old Greek traditional, like with the black scarf around her head and the black outfit and the big flappy skirt, and she was a lady of some, you know, wideness, and she was, I think she'd been like shot or something, and she was like slumped on her knees, but she had her arms around the priest. And I saw this picture, and that's quite poignant. So I painted this, and I did a blue background.
Yeah.
But I was running out of paint because I'd used it all. I was running out of acrylic paints. So what I did was, the blue background, I did just as like stippling like I'm doing now, just to give this kind of like cloud pattern. And it's basically exactly what I'm doing now. And I'm like, oh dear Lord, just remembered that. So,
but isn't it funny how we still go back to stuff we was taught at school, and it's still relevant.
Yeah.
You know, that's what taught me about symmetry, because as youngsters you would draw a face and you always wanted left and right side to be the same, and our art teacher went round with a Polaroid taking facial shots of us all, and then got us with a pair of scissors to cut them in half. So she basically would come up to you, take two identical pictures straight after each other of your face, cut that one, and now swap the bits round and you know,
cool.
Use a mirror or whatever to look at the symmetry. And it taught you that the human face is not symmetrical. And I still apply that even now when I'm doing figure painting. Is light will always hit certain areas of a face differently due to a difference in bone structure between the left and right side of your skull. So I try to do that, or slightly over exaggerate it when I'm figure painting, just to try to create that non-symmetrical look to the face.
Yeah, because nature really abhors a vacuum and symmetry.
Exactly.
In a lot of ways, on the macro scale anyway. It's like, I don't like that.
Exactly, and it serves you in good stead, you know, and you sit there and you think, still remember it, even though it's over 40 years ago that lesson took place, you still remember it.
It sticks in there. It's just good advice, isn't it? You always remember good advice. I for some reason, I remember only little bits about my secondary education. Like in terms of, I have memories from it, but like in terms of things the teachers told us and taught us and stuff. One of the few things I remember is that we had a geography teacher who always loved the word abundance because he would overpronounce it a bun dance.
Yeah.
And then he'd laugh and we'd all be like, oh dear God, he's at it again. Mr. Barton, his name was. He was a good lad.
Right, yeah.
He was a good lad, Mr. Barton. It was weird because, like you, it was a grammar school, but it was a mixture of the old boys. Some of the teachers were proper old boys.
Yeah.
And some of them were like the young university graduates from maybe in their 30s.
Yeah.
So we had this halfway house of like young, cool teachers who were trying to be trendy and also old masters in their gowns and stuff. It was very weird.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, fudge. I forgot to do that bit.
It was an interesting place because, like you say, you had the grammar school or the grammar school side, but you had the reform school side as well. So it was like two into one.
Yeah.
On the same grounds, you know. So it was, because anyone on the reform school, it was a way of trying not to make them feel alienated. So you had two types of school merged, so to speak, just to try to, you know, keep it sane, so to speak. You know, it's one of those things that Maggie was playing with back in the day, like short, sharp, shocking Borstals and things like that.
Because a lot of times that kind of school, you were separated out from the educational system. And that really
when I first went there, I was, because I was in the reform side, because, you know, I was a naughty boy at the end of the day and had issues with authority. Who'd have guessed? And, you know, I was sent there because, you know, I kept getting expelled from mainstream schools. Because if I didn't like something, I'd just lose my temper, kick off against it and you know, lash out, so to speak. And it's not the answer, is it? So I got sent there, and then obviously they then tried integrating it and changing aspects of it so that if you did improve, you didn't have to go to a completely different school. You just was in different buildings, and that was it, but still on the same camp.
Yeah.
That was a great idea. Whether or not I suppose it did work, because most of us that ended up going back on the mainstream side ended up staying there because we felt accepted. So, well,
that's the thing. I never quite understood the whole thing of if someone's disruptive, you know, permanently put them outside of the core, you know, social group, because it's like if the whole point is to get them to adjust their behaviour to integrate better in the social group, then you can't just take them out of it and expect them to integrate
this is
later.
it. I mean, in no uncertain terms, we knew that if we carried it on, then we would end up in, you know, DC and detention centres and next step postal. So we knew what the consequences were. So it was almost like
took it far enough.
Last chance saloon, not a get out of jail free card, but shape up or ship out. You know, was the mantra type of thing, you know, and it was the onus was put on you, but the tools around you were there to try to help you see the light of your, or the error of your ways, so to speak. And I think it was a very clever way of doing it myself, because
it was a more logical way of doing it than the older stuff.
Had they have tried to regiment that, we would have rebelled against it, because it's authority, isn't it? But it was very cleverly done. I don't know whether it's still like that these days, because I've been out the school system for 40-odd years, but back then it was quite, or appeared to be quite visionary, and the do-gooders were like, don't give these people a chance, send them to the Isle of Wight and give them 100 lashes, but they're like, well, we've tried it that way for years and it hasn't worked, so we want to try and give it digital thinking almost. And
well, it's like, you know, if you take somebody out of the system and just punish them, then they're going to get back into the system and not know how to integrate into the system. So
and I can remember Mum, you know, because you lived there basically each term, a bit like a boarding school, I suppose, because there were, I say, restrictions put on you. Rather than get sent away on a sentence, you got sent there.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, to save you going into the system, so to speak.
The judicial system,
Yeah, so you You had to stay there during term, but you would get rolled school holidays, you know. My mum noticed it when I was home, how different I was. You know, but it was ironic because if day one of your return you didn't turn up, they come and got you.
Oh, God, yeah.
And if they had to come and get you, it didn't impact you for that day. It impacted you for the duration of that school year.
Yeah.
You were escorted to and from every class, signed for like a bit of luggage, so to speak.
Yeah.
So there were consequences. So yeah, if you was legitimately not there for a reason, they would investigate it, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Because I did it, you know, thinking I'd get away with it, and it was like the worst year of our school life, mate.
Yeah, you learned not to do it again.
It's like, yeah, for the sake of, you know, a couple of hours down the Arndale skiving, it made my next 6 months quite,
intolerable.
Yeah, it was, because, you know, because normal punishments, because don't forget, we're talking about a time where corporal punishment in schools was still rife.
Yeah. Because you were on the end of that, weren't you? On the
Absolutely. And I'm not proud of it, not ashamed of it. It was the punishments that were in place at that time. But if you was in, how can we say, the bad books because of, your punishments that were meted out were a lot worse than you would have got had you have towed the line.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
you know, so instead of getting caned in a particular area, no, you got the most painful area. You got doubled of what you would have got, you know, so. But it's all,
I was kind of lucky that I missed all that, because they'd already phased it out of our school by the time I think.
I think it's a strange one because it's still a subject that people of our generation often go, bring back caning and things like that.
Yeah.
At the time, it was a punishment that was on the list of teachers' resources at their disposal. So that was what was there, and you knew the consequences and you accepted it. I don't think it affected me in any dangerous way. It was you got punished because you was a twit.
Yep.
And that was the severest punishment that was on offer in their armoury at the time. So who was to blame? Me or them? Well, me for being a dick. So, you know, did it hurt? Oh, yeah, you know, when I was really in the doghouse and I got 12 of the best, I knew it. You know, it was go and see the matron because you had to heal from it because wounds were there. Nowadays, you wouldn't get away with that. That would be child abuse. But back then, that was the norm.
Well, yeah, it'd be assault, wouldn't it, nowadays?
Yeah, but that's the only time my mum ever complained is because, you know, blood was drawn, so to speak. And, you know, they said, well, at the end of the day, it's gone up a level because she went, but that's still excessive in her eyes. And she said, if I or he did that to a member of the public on the street, he'd be arrested for assault.
Exactly.
Or a fray or whatever, because, so it got phased out a few years later because some teachers or professors were getting uncomfortable with the severity of it. And then I went back after a holiday and the main headmaster had suddenly taken leave and retired and new regimes were brought in but it was interesting.
Just very quickly, Sophie was asking about how to learn how to do chipping. I'm about to do some, Sophie.
I'm sure you'll give her your in-depth knowledge there because...
No, chipping, you don't have to explain that much.
You are the chipping guru. Go full screen, mate. Go on.
Well, there's not that much to show.
All right, then, sod it. Don't go full screen, then.
Only take me a minute. How do I go full screen? I'll let you do it. How do I do it?
I'll do it. Give us a sec. You've got my undivided attention, Fox.
No, I just can't remember what the button was. Right, so here's one way of doing chipping. It's just one way. You need some bits of sponge, just packing sponge like you get with miniatures and stuff, or the sponge you get in like a pill bottle or something. Rip some bits off, and then just fuss the edges a little bit so that it's all like uneven and jaggly. You don't want smooth edges. And all you do is when you've done that, you bit of
brush
sponge. I want this one. A rough random bit of sponge. Get a plastic tube like the ones you get on brushes, on paint brushes. Never throw them away. Stick it in the end of the plastic tube like that. Make sure it's kind of random, scruffy looking. Some tweezers so I can push it in a bit. Ow.
Have you started yet?
Not yet. And then all you do is fuss at it with a knife or some tweezers just to get a real rough texture. It's my wrong shape really, but it'll work. Rough. It'll work. Hang on, let me tease that out the other way. You kind of have to fluff around a bit and try and get the right shape. But you kind of want to have like a blob sticking out the end that's completely random. And all you do, this is one way. The way I like to do chipping is I like to do two-stage chipping. So I do like, this is a blue coloured tank, for example. So I want to do two-stage chips, a light blue colour where the paint surface has come off and you see clean paint underneath. And then later I'll do like a darker chip, like it's meant to be like a rusty metal coming through. The paint's been removed completely and you can see rusty, you might see primer or something. So, but for a moment I'm going to do a highlight chip, and I tend to just go for something that's massively lighter than the base colour. So the base colour is like that. And this is Lothern Blue, which is ridiculously bright. And it's about...
It'll get there in a minute, Sophie.
I'm getting there. On a miniature, you want contrast. That's all you do. You put a sponge.
Most of us would have just picked that up with our fingertips or a pair of tweezers, but...
Yeah, well, this actually makes it less of a hassle process. Get the tiniest bit of paint on it. I end up covered in paint if I don't. A little bit of that. And like you do with dry brushing, just get most of it off on your bit of paper or on the surface here. So there's not much left on it. And then just start very gently dabbing it on. I tend to focus around edges or where there'll be lots of wear and tear. Now it'll be quite small and invisible for a lot of it. It's up to you how much you want to do. So you go along and do all these. It'll take you a little while. And then when you've done, you can either leave those chips as they are. You can go around and put darker chips in the middle of them to suggest where the paint's gone through completely and you've got rusty metal underneath or something. Or you can join some of them together to make bigger chips. But that's it. You can do this with a brush instead, and you have to individually paint every single chip. But this is the easiest way to do it. Like Festa says, you can just grab the sponge in your hand if you want, but I quite like this way.
Yeah, I like to keep it simple myself.
Yeah. And you just tend to stick to edges, and that's all there is to it. And you can build it up slowly. I don't know if it'll even come out on camera, but you'll start to see little areas like that there, that bit there where my thumb is. You get a big splodge with lots of little splodges around it. I might put a little dark brown or a dark grey splodge in the middle to make it like the metal's come through. And all you need to remember is a paint chip's barely bigger than a human hand in real life. So don't do massive splods the size of a human head or something. Just go slow and build it up. And you can't go wrong. That's it. There you go. Done. That would normally be a 45-minute video. But yeah, that's it really. It's just one way of doing it. I used to paint all the chips manually by hand with a brush, but I got back into doing sponge because it's far too much hard work doing it by hand. I'll paint the interior chips with a brush, but I'll make my original pattern with the sponge. There you go. Done.
You got there in the end.
Hey. It's worth doing. It's worth doing adequately.
It was the fact it was, I'll give you a quick and simple guide. It's like, yeah.
That was a quick and simple guide for me, that.
That was. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. The one trick is when you first do this first coat, don't panic that you suddenly got a model that looks like it's got some sort of disease, because it will look like that.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a bad case of acne.
Yeah, but once you put in the interior chips, like the darker chips in the middle, or you do your weathering over the top, then it calms down and blends in more. That's all there is to it. That's why you should always keep your little bits of sponge. Sponge.
You're a sponge. Sophie says, thank you for the advice. Are you still with us, Sophie? You woke up yet?
Do you know? So rude.
Sophie's sitting there going, shut up, bloody arse now.
Yeah.
Oh, joking aside, you know.
Yeah, we know. I think people know that we mock each other mercilessly, and that's our way.
Absolutely.
You like chipping, don't you?
I do like a bit of chipping. You know, it's just like, yeah. So, you know, I get why you're doing it, but for me, that's too patterny, because you've only got one side of the sponge, whereas each chip I apply, I rotate the sponge and spin it in my fingers.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I've got that
differences, but
I can rotate it that way. But
yeah,
that is a good point. You've got to. I mean, I'll swap this sponge out a few times. So
yeah, see, I wouldn't have to do that, because I'll just open my tweezers, turn it, and use another bit, you know, just to get different shapes, you know. But it's just different ways of doing it, you know.
Yeah.
But straight away, I look at that, and the flaw for me is you're getting the same type of chips all over that at the moment, because you're using the same contours of the sponge.
It's a bit like using a Photoshop filter.
Yeah.
A brush, even.
Yeah.
Filter.
You know, but it works, you know. That's what works. That's what works. Different ways of skinning a cat, so to speak, isn't it?
Aye. So I'm going to swap that out now.
Not that we're condoning that people go out and do that. I just want to clarify that, because you never know.
See, I'm just turning it around now, because Festa doesn't make a good point.
For the sake of an algorithm. It's like, you know, I'm doing this with a brush, but I'm still rotating the brush in my fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Just so that you know, the bristles aren't hitting in the same spot.
Yep. It's just really like dry brushing, but with the sponge and you're stickling rather than brushing. It's no different. You really want almost nothing on the brush.
Yeah. I mean, there's times I'll have 2 or 3 different shapes of sponge, both in size and different angles on them, and I'll have them on different sets of tweezers laying there, and I'll just be pick the next one up just to get a randomness, because it's patterns.
Yeah. And it's just about trying to keep in mind, you know, like I said, how big a chip would be, but also, you know, where would the chipping be? Try and tell a story with it, you know.
Yeah.
Try and make sure the chipping is where you would expect chipping to be, where there's a lot of people walking around, or there's contact surfaces that move against each other.
People climbing over a tank. Well, straight away you'd want to see how people get in and out of that type of tank, so that you know where the footprints or the boot marks or the scratches would be, you know.
Yeah. If you do find yourself with a bit of an obvious repetitious pattern, like you say, 3 splodges that all look the same, just get a fine brush and just link a couple of them together, paint some extra bits.
Go over it with a wash, and it'll soon, a bit of streak and grime, it'll soon blend it in.
It is amazing how it comes together. I did, when I did that red orc fighter bomber, whatever it was, I did it all colours of red, and I did like some like bright pink base colour chips.
Oh yeah, the Wasbon Dackerjet.
That's the one. I couldn't get the name of it. And when I looked at it the next morning, I was like, oh dear God, I've ruined it, because it was basically red with bright pink dots all over it.
Yeah.
And I was very despondent. And I thought even the weathering's not going to hide that. So what I did was I went over it with a red glaze, and it blended it all together. It
does make a difference. Yeah.
That was that red glaze that we all love. I can't remember what it's called. Bloodletter. That's the one.
Bloodletter red, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
I could be reeling off these glazes. Damn it.
Yeah. I do tend to get carried away doing chipping though. I can never do a little bit.
It can be quite engrossing, but I'll do a bit and then I put the model to one side and go, right, I'm going to do something else now, because it's that less is more mentality, isn't it? Because we've all done it where you get so engrossed in the chipping that you overdo it. And it's like...
You basically repainted your entire model.
Yeah, you've chipped the entire model, and it's like, yeah, in real life, putting that object in that environment, it, you know, that would be on the scrap pile if it was that rusty and that chip. So, you then go back and go, yeah, I need to undo some of this now. And that's the beauty of the Citadel paints, because if you overdo the chipping, you can just go back over it with some of the dry brush colour and blend over some of the chips just to take the sharpness away from them. So, look at me sounding, I know what I'm on about. I used to chip in expert.
Hey, you can rattle off Games Workshop paints by heart, so you do know what you're talking about.
I always say I know nothing about anything and anything about nothing.
But when I say to him, what colour do you think for this festival? Well, I think you should have like this particular colour of red and this particular blue and you know, fat cucumber green and a bit of hornswoggler's blue. And I'm like, you know all the colours. Damn.
Yeah, but it's colour wheel as well, isn't it? It's different colours work well with each other. And
yeah, but you know all the colour names.
When I was doing the Harlequin speeder, wasn't it? And it's doing all the diamonds on it. And you was like, well, how did you know that them two shades over that would have given you that? Well, it's just, you know, it just is how it is.
So one thing I've never learned is the colour theory, because it never goes in.
No.
I've tried learning it. It's like, it's a bit like maths.
You know, that's why we always keep a bit of old sprue. Because just put the colours on there and play with the shades, and if it works on the sprue, it's going to work on the model.
You're a bit of an old sprue. Yeah, it's like, to me, the colour theory is like maths, though. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It scares me.
If it looks right, then it is right. That's 9 times out of 10 the easiest way. If you put two colours together and it looks like, you know, a drag artist's badly applied face makeup, then you know you've got it wrong. But if it looks like an elegant, sophisticated Hollywood superstar with just the right amount of claret and pancake on, you're going to look at that and go, yeah, that's right. And it's all you're doing, basically. It's make up for models, isn't it? It's, you know.
Basically.
I mean, I've done it before. I chosen paint schemes and I look at it and go, yeah, at the time that seemed a great idea. And then 6 months after you've done the build, you look at it and you go, yeah, I got a bit carried away there. I should have kept it simple. And then, you know, you find yourself, you know, that it's moved on the shelf of, yeah, I've got to repaint that.
Yeah, that's one thing you have to say to people just getting in the hobby is don't panic when you realise you've got 3 or 4 models that you kind of stopped halfway through because it started to go a bit wrong. You'll just go back to them. You'll learn new things.
No, it's not that it's gone wrong. It's just your tastes change.
Yeah, and it's not quite what you were looking for.
You know, I mean, you know, even on shiny builds and bikes and cars that I built 10, 15 years ago, your techniques are different back then to what you're using now. The products are a lot better now than what you had then.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you go back to the day when you had Umbro tins and things like that and snot glue. You know, it was a different era. And, you know, you still have them builds and you're like, oh, I'd love to rework that and do it. So you dig them out, because I keep a lot of the kits in storage containers. And I've been sorting a lot of them out as to pre-YouTube, since YouTube, and different, you know, like that decade, so that you can go back and revisit one of your old builds and go, I built this back in 1992. And I want to try and do a modern take on it. Or I'll just buy another version of that kit, rebuild it and repaint it using techniques I've picked up more recently, and as skills improve, you know, and I find that interesting, and dare I say it, quite stimulating as well, because none of us are perfect, and if you didn't think you could improve, it's like when I get asked, what's your best build? I say my next one.
The next one, yeah.
Because if I thought for 1 minute I've done my best work, I'd stop, because what's the incentive?
Yep.
So,
it's I've actually forgotten what I was about to say. Brilliant.
Oh, really?
I was going to say something, and the moment I started saying it, my brain went, I've forgotten now. What?
There is a God.
Yeah, I'd go on what I was going to say.
Well, we've talked about best work, weren't we? And builds we've done back in the day that we'd want to rework. You know, I've got stuff that I've done Warhammer-wise that were different when I first started this little journey than I'm doing now. And I will go back and just give them builds tweaks, because a lot of them I stopped. And I can remember he was one of the people that was saying, why aren't you finishing it? Why aren't you finishing it? And I'd say, because I'm not at that stage where I've learned all of the techniques to make it how I think it should be. So I'm going to pause the build, come back to it when I'm ready. PJ's just put in a super chat. All coins and this coinage donation on you would have been chipped to make them look ancient, far worth more than they actually are. Hugs. Thank you very, very, very kindly, PJ, mate. It means a hell of a lot.
Very much.
I'd be very glad, mate.
Yeah.
But, you know, you look at it and you're at different stages to what you were back then, you know, and I can apply techniques I've learned since as I've grown into the Warhammer genre and techniques, where I can go back to them builds and now go back and finish them to a standard that I would be happy with.
Yeah. Or, you know, you might have kits where you thought you'd finished it, but you've learned something new since then and thought, oh, actually, I could go back and add this to it that I didn't know about then.
Exactly.
New process that follows after where I thought it was.
Pretty much what I just said, mate. New processes and techniques.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's why I didn't start painting Insane Blade. Purely and simply because it had its base coats and its pre-shade. And it's like, yeah, I need to get more into the subject and techniques before I paint this bad boy, because it was such a unique build and I wanted to do it justice.
Yeah.
And I think that was the right decision to make, to be honest.
It was. I agree. Because you've come a hell of a long way since then.
Yeah, you know, at the time, you're like, oh, dude, but you could paint it, you could do this, you could do that. I go, no, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
Because I need to learn more about it to do that build justice. Yeah, but you've built it. I went, yeah, but if I paint it now, I'm going to regret it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like leveling up before you go and attack this bad guy's camp in a game, because you're too underleveled. They'll just kick your ass.
Yeah.
You have to level yourself up first, then go and do it.
Exactly.
I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say I was very lucky as a child that I never went through the Humbrol stage. I managed to start out, although it's not that much lucky, I started out with Tamiya paints.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I was brush painting Tamiya paints, so it was almost as a traumatic educational process as painting with Humbrels. I didn't even know about acrylic paints till I came back into the hobby.
Yeah.
I thought Tamiya were acrylic. How little I knew. Psst.
Yeah, I mean, Tamiya was just coming in. Then obviously I left the hobby to raise me boys. And then when I come back, you know, things like pigments, filters, washes and weathering powders and that had all crept in. So for me, it was, okay, let's just forget everything I ever did and relearn the hobby as a newbie. And that's how I got back into it. I just treated it as if I'd never built a model before and started totally from scratch again.
Same for me. Like I said before, literally I was, you know, I'd brush paint the paint onto the plastic on the sprue, and then I'd build it, and then I'd give it a black wash and a dry brush of silver, and I'd think it was made. And if it was a figure, I did get to the point where I was painting, say, a figure, and I'd give him a brown wash of thinned paint. But I was applying a wash of thin Tamiya paint with Tamiya thinners over Tamiya paint, which is not a great idea, really. Which I know now. It's a stupid thing to do. But, yeah, it was... and I actually had...
Different process back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And what makes me laugh is, a few years ago, I've shown it before, I actually found and got the modeller's handbook that I had when I was a kid from the late 70s, early 80s. And it was this like proper, like how to build and paint models properly, like a proper grown-up person. And it was quite funny when you read through it, because the advice is terrible. It literally was, you know, do a black wash and dry brush metallics, done.
Yeah, dry brush the edges. It's like, yeah.
Yes. Like it said with painting, it says all you need to start your painting career is some enamel paints and a few good brushes. I'm like, oh God, no, it's terrible advice. And it basically, there's a little section on airbrushes, and it basically says you don't need an airbrush because they're far too complicated for you simpletons. Just paint by hand. It basically said that in a less direct way. Don't worry about airbrushing. That's far too advanced for you. People like you. Great, thanks.
You know, the model glue back when I first was building them sort of things was Brit Fix and Airfix snot glue.
Yep.
You know, and that was it. You didn't have bottled glues. Revell Contactor had just come out in a bottle. Do you remember when that first came out? Glue in a glass bottle, and it was like,
yeah,
it was like witchcraft. You know?
I mean, when I started, I think I didn't start out with Tamiya cements, but I had Humbrol poly cement.
Oh yeah, liquid poly. I got a bottle of it.
Yeah, liquid poly. I never started out on the tube snot glue. Thankfully, again, I missed out on that. My brothers used to make aircraft and stuff with Humbrol paints and snot glue. I managed to avoid that.
Yeah. Yeah, we all had a brass pin that you used to put in the end of the tube, stop the nozzle blocking up.
Yep. Nothing worse than a block nozzle, eh, ladies?
Yeah, still got tins of Umbro enamel in a drawer over there.
Oh dear Lord. That's the only thing is like acrylic paints go off, but Humbrol enamels unfortunately last forever.
Yeah, but again, if you thin them right, they're fine.
Yeah. Oh, they're great for weathering nowadays.
You know, you can bung them through an airbrush quite easily.
Yep. It's amazing. How now, my preferred medium for weathering is enamel paint. Because it's faster than oil paints to dry and it just has some great effects.
Yeah.
So enamels have had this renaissance. But there's still people out there.
Jamesy says, I use Umbro and Revell enamel paints. What my dad used, can't get on with acrylics. Exactly. You know, there's room for them. You know, I've got Umbro enamels up there for when I do my buses. Because, you know, it's, you know, the right kind of red. It just works.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
they are wonderfully matte and smooth. That's the advantage they have.
And they don't chip off the model, you know. They're resilient, you know.
Tougher than your acrylics.
Tough as old boots, mate. So there is that.
Tough as old boots. I'm even painting the bit that goes inside the turret hole. I don't know why. We're up to. I think my chat's fallen behind. Oh, it's now died. Excellent. Thank you, YouTube. I didn't want to read that chat anyway. Never mind.
Exactly. PJ says, yeah, for any further chipping, check out any night shift video on the YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Martin Kovac, Night Shift Sophie. He's got a YouTube channel. Just type it in, all one word. And yeah, honestly, the guy's a legend.
You will learn so much about weathering from that guy.
You know, he really does know his stuff. I watch him a hell of a lot because, one, I find his presentation style is so pleasant and great ASMR. But also, there's always something he's doing that is different than how we do it, and it's like, actually, I like that technique, and I will shamelessly steal it. I was giving him a credit in the video description. I shamelessly stole this off of my mate Martin, and
when I do the tracks on this puppy, it's going to be. I've spent the last couple of years trying to use his track painting method, and I still haven't nailed it down. It's decidedly simple when you watch him do it. It's like, right, I've got that. It's like 3 or 4 stages. I can't do it. I can't get it right. It looks all right, but it doesn't look anywhere near as good as his. I always credit him.
Yeah, you're just trying to get in these good books, aren't you?
Me, no. I'm trying to learn a good technique that I'm struggling with, and it's so decidedly simple, and yet I can't master it.
Yeah, he's really good. Another good one to watch is Laser Creation World as well. Another talented weatherer.
Anyway, Martin's your best mate. Anyway, you and Martin, your buddies. He's so like Festa says though, it's like he's so relaxing to watch. Even if you're not watching him to learn anything, it's just I could sit and watch him all day. It's just chill you out instantly. But friends.
Again, it's simple processes that anyone could use.
Mm-hmm. Except me.
And it is. It's just one of those channels that you can sit and watch all day long. If I'm stuck upstairs and I'm having a sulk because I'm having a relapse, I'll just sit and watch him and just for a bit of ASMR and relaxation. You can't go wrong.
See, Festa and I have made a whole point of our channels is to, we said this before, is to demystify the techniques that we use. Not because we're brilliant at it and we think we're, God's gift to painters, but to say to people, it's not as complicated as you think and you can do it. And Martin is one of those people that, again, his whole thing is just saying, it's just to show people you can get some really good results and you don't have to be an amazing painting genius. And I'll always give time and respect to any channel that does that. Yeah. I'll have no interest in a channel that says, here's how I paint this because I'm brilliant and I'm awesome. I don't care. I'm not watching your rubbish.
You'll often hear me say on my videos, my way isn't the only way. There are other ways of doing this out there. Take from it what you want, add to it your own ideas and go with it. Make it your own technique. Only guidelines and hints, that's all I'm giving them.
Yeah, and there's a certain humbleness to Martin as well. I love it when he was, I think it was one of his dioramas, and this little building he's doing, like a little outhouse or side shack or something.
Yeah.
And he finished it, he's like, well, it's not quite what I was expecting, but it's all right. And there's this like museum quality little building he's just painted. It's like, you do know what you've just painted here. How could you? He's so humble.
Yeah, but isn't that the best way to be? Humble.
Exactly. Those are the channels that I pay attention to and watch.
Because I go back and watch people like that. The ones that are, I'm the greatest and I'm the only one can do this. I'm like, I won't be watching you again because you got your own head so far up your own backside that,
It's almost like videos that are how to paint X.
Yeah.
It's the person saying, I'm doing it the correct way. So if you do it this way, it's like, no.
Exactly.
How I paint X. Yeah.
Connor is in saying hello, everyone. Hello, Connor. How are you? Lovely to see you in.
Hello.
Jamesy Boy says for RC boats, tough paint is advisable. Absolutely, mate. I was going to say then, Connor, when you do your RC boats, you still then go over them with a marine grade varnish? Or do you just 2K them or whatever? Because obviously you want something resilient for whatever may or may not be in the water. So, curiosity. Yeah. What is your finishing process for your freshly applied paint?
Actually, that's a question I've had for a long time. Near me, not that far away from me, is a statue of a person. I won't say more than that, I don't give away where I am. A statue of a person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just a bronze statue, and that's it. This bronze statue, but there's some paint on it. Some of it's been painted and coloured.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been stood there for a good 10 years now, and the paint looks as fresh as it did on the first day. And I've often wondered, what have they sealed? Because it's not particularly shiny. It's just, what have they sealed it with? Because it's not even chipped or worn. It's been stood there for about 10 years. I'd love to know what they used. Because it's very, very durable. People are touching it all the time and raining and...
You want to put a complaint in about that then if people are touching it all the time, mate. That's too personal, Fox, isn't it? They're
touching it inappropriately in an inappropriate way. I have to get onto HR. So I often wonder, what the sculptor actually painted it with and then sealed it with, because it's in perfect condition.
Mind you, there's so many modern varnishes and finishes nowadays.
Yeah, and sealants and stuff.
It's like when I do my decal wraps, it's plastic oak clear sealer. Best thing to do it with. Works a treat for me.
It's got to survive rain and wind and frost and ice and everything and heat. Whatever they chose does the job. Right, I've not actually painted the body yet, have I? No, that's why I thought I'd finished and I haven't.
Yeah, you're right, PJ. He is a genius, mate, Martin.
Yeah.
Genius is a word that's thrown about, but in Martin's case, it is appropriate because
it will allow it. It's accurate. Yeah. Sponge.
skill level Japan is what I would say he is.
Absolutely. I follow a Japanese modeler on Blue Sky, and he just randomly popped up on my feed one day. Oh, I'll follow him. And he makes little tiny vignettes, and he's got one where it was a 1/48 scale vintage car. But he customized a soldier, a desert rat soldier, into like a bloke with shorts and a t-shirt, and somehow cobbled together an Alsatian and made it like a bloke in a van with a surfboard on it, and he's in surf gear. And it's so beautifully, it's like the figure's that tall, it's so beautifully painted.
Yeah. I've said to you before about the one who builds the little dioramas in light switches and things like that.
Yeah.
I was watching one on YouTube the other night, and it was a woman, and she's built a little lingerie, and it's in her skirting board next to a light switch.
Wow.
Wall plug socket even. And when you zoom in, it's got a little spinning washing machine, and everything's working. It's phenomenal skill. It really is.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love them sort of projects because it is so unique. That's what stimulates me, the eccentricity and the uniqueness of them builds, you know.
Especially for something like that, which, you know, normally you'll do something and put it in a cabinet. That just sits there and probably most people will never notice it.
Yeah, literally, there's a floor vacuum cleaner going past it, you know, this little light box next to the wall socket with a skirting board each side. When you zoom in with the camera, it's a fully functioning laundry. It's got washing baskets, washing machine, soap powder. There's coins on the side to put in the slot of the machine. It's phenomenal detail.
You have to wonder, like, if she ever moves house, will she just leave it?
Yeah, you could take it out.
All right. I'd be tempted to leave it just to see what the new owners do.
I would. I'd build one in the wall socket and, yeah.
See what the owners do.
It's like book nooks, you know. I find book nooks interesting because, you know, I've built them before for Helen. And, you know, I sit here looking around the cave and I've got a few places where I could put a nook in there. Similar to what the Japanese folks are doing with little apartment buildings or whatever, but just have it on the wall lit up. And, you know, people might think, what is that over there? And it is just a tiny little... You know, I might try and replicate the man cave.
Yeah.
So the cave within the cave concept, a bit like I did with the transit van.
Yeah, you like your meta stuff, don't you?
Yeah, you know, and I just try and do something like that, just for shits and giggles, basically.
Yep.
JJ says, I haven't used any other finishes except for the paint so far. The enamel has been okay. Of course, yeah, it's enamel, isn't it? Do use varnish and sealers on all wood parts, though? Yes, yeah, that's what I was on about, the old marine varnish bit, because it's as tough as old boots, that stuff, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Now, see, I'm going to have a problem when it comes to the other parts of this tank, because I can sponge this blue highlight chip on.
Yeah.
I won't be able to really do that when I'm doing all the other parts that are different colours. I'll have to do them by hand with a brush. Because they may have different, like if there's a load of yellow bits, I can't put yellow highlight on a blue bit, so...
No, it's going to look
take a bit longer. Yeah.
It's going to seem a bit odd, isn't it?
Yeah, that will take a bit longer.
I'm just going back in and painting the first layer of rust on the rebar poking out of the concrete.
Rebar. Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, it's got to have rebar in it, isn't it?
Yeah. I read somewhere recently that they think they've now rediscovered fully Roman concrete recipe.
Oh, right, yeah, because it has been a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, because like for like over 100 years, they've been trying to figure out how they made it, because like Roman concrete is better than modern concrete.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It doesn't decay. It's just stupid, crazy stuff. And they think they might have figured it out because there were always like some ingredients they couldn't quite ascertain.
Doesn't get concrete cancer, does it? Like many buildings where it basically dies from the inside, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was always a bit of a head scratcher for me that people were like, "We'll make this concrete and we'll put reinforcing bars in it, but we'll make it metal that corrodes."
Yeah,
that never seemed like quite a clever idea, really.
Yeah, it seems a bit pointless, doesn't it?
Yeah, why not make them out of stainless steel or something else? Must build the materials they could have made rebar out of. Surely.
It's when you see them trying to replicate a structure that's thousands of years old, and with all the modern technology we have, they still can't do it. And it's like, fascinating, isn't it?
Mm. Well, I find a facepalm whenever you go to a building site and you see them putting like concrete in, and they're using rebar that's already corroded. It's like, why was this ever considered?
Yeah, all the structural steel work that's all corroded around where all the fixings are, and you're like,
yeah, like you see a skyscraper being built and it's just a metal frame and it's already rusted to hell. And you're like, that's just going to fall over and kill everybody in about 6 years. Come on.
I mean, I have ASMR videos I watch on a regular basis. I was chatting to PJ about this recently. And I've been watching like major construction projects of football stadiums and skyscrapers and things. I've been watching the Etihad Stadium, the Manchester City ground, being built. And you sit there and you watch them put in different claddings on and that, and you're looking at the steel work that is so rusty, and they're just painting over the top of the rust, and it's like, what? You know, it's mad. It really is.
Trust that concrete from the first minute it goes on. It's like, no.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to when they start Old Trafford. Now, I'm not a Man United fan, but I'm a fan of architects and of watching stuff being constructed. I watched the Shard being done. I watched Tottenham Hotspur's football ground being done. Camp Nou in Spain, and, you know, bridges, tunnelling projects. You know, I love all of that. You know, time lapses of buildings in Dubai going up, because I just find that great ASMR, but also I'm interested in how they do it. Another one I watch is tower cranes that construct themselves. It's brilliant.
Oh, yeah. It's such a radical... It's just, how do you build the crane? You get the crane to build itself.
It's lifting up bits that it's slotted in to make it go higher up the side of the building. I'm like, I love all of that. That would be my dream job. The man in the cab, in the tower crane. Oh, mate, I'd love that job.
I can imagine you'd love that.
I'll be in the element, because you're on your own, away from everyone. You've got all the buttons to press, and it's like,
Did you watch in the 80s when Channel 4 was still new? They had this series where they followed this construction of a skyscraper.
Yes.
In New York, right from like planning all the way through to finishing.
Sagan alert, Sagan alert, Sagan alert. Very own model making. So I've got a little thank you to do anyway there. Our very own model making, Carl Sagan is in. Jeff is in, Candygram for Mongo.
I had a quote lined up and it's moved. Thanks, iPad.
I'll continue. There's a thank you gone in. Thank you very, very kindly, Jeff, for your generosity, mate. Massively appreciated. And he is our very own Carl Sagan, folks, because he has what I would say is the best narrating voice in the world.
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together.
There you go. Welcome, 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 Jeff. I am finally doing a bit more work on my little digger, mate, because it's been a while. Diggery goodness, diggery goodness, diggery goodness. I'd like been a while. But yeah, it's just nice to have it back on the bench, to be honest with you. It's been off for quite a while, and
You've been off for quite a while.
Why did I know you was going to say that? Also, squishy alert, squishy alert. Lord Edward of Leonard is in, saying hello everybody, hello Colin and Fox, and the chat people, been lurking, making sure I said hello to everyone, still taking care of my sick bulldog, it's wearing me out, love you all, cheers. Oh, sorry to hear the bulldog's poorly bad, Edward, mate, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Get well soon, the model making pooch.
Yep. Puppers should always be well.
And Edward will know this because bulldogs, when they're unwell, they put on the world's best sick face. You proper puppy dog eyes, but yeah, they look like an old man sucking a wasp, mate. A proper sulker, mate. Do you remember a bloke called Arthur Mallard back in the day?
Yeah.
They look like him. Yeah, Churchill the dog off the advert. You know, proper sulky.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I swear blind whenever Gary weren't well, it was the how.to music was playing in his ears, you know, it's like, you go, all right, Gary. You know,
not well, you know.
Oh, you're tired.
Bury me now.
Oh, yeah.
The time's come. Shut up.
I don't want to go for a walk. All right.
I'm on death's door, leave me alone.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, bless you.
Basically, what you're saying is dogs are basically me.
Yeah. Oh, he was a proper princess.
Drama queens.
Several times I had to check that he was actually male. It's like, yeah. You know, man flu's a thing, so's dog flu. Oh, mate, especially when bulldogs are concerned. But yeah. It's funny, H was talking about him earlier on today about his I'm not well face. It's like, yeah. Let's. Do you remember when? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but do you do that face as well, though?
I try.
I assume that, because I was going to say, I assume H was mentioning it because she was trying to draw a parallel between her and the dog and yourself.
No, it's just I was like, I don't want to take me pills today because it's all giving me guts ache and she's like, Wibble kids, you're taking them. It's like, yeah. Never a sympathetic bunch. I'm going to call you Gary. He used to do that face. Oh. And that noise.
Oh.
I hate you. Yeah, of course you do. Well, a bit of cake. Oh, I love you, love. Thought you might.
I hate you, Butler.
Oh, yeah. I tried to protest and lose badly, put it that way. But...
Yeah. I think what gets us most is that you just keep trying.
Oh, yeah, you think after all these years I'd give up, but...
You're like a man that's in quicksand, and he knows he's in quicksand, and he knows he'll never get out, but he still flails anyway.
Yeah, but it's that one chance where you think, I might win. Yeah. I can remember messaging Cal once saying, I've just won a disagreement with your mother. He went, no, you're clearly ill. Unbeknownst to me, he'd taken a screenshot of said message and went, is this true? And yeah, so guess who ended up in the doghouse?
Yes, even though you won the argument, yeah, it had consequences. You suffer when you lose, and you suffer when you win.
It's like, you know, and I said, well, thanks for that. What did you expect, old man? You go bragging. Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's like you've never learned that they're totally on her side, have you?
And he got me with my own quote. Here endeth the lesson.
Ha 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 ha.
Damn it.
Yeah. You're like, oh, twist the knife, why don't you?
Hey, PJ saying, yeah, he's doing good, thanks. Isn't it time you stop doing that work thing and retire, Jeff, he says. Hugh says, I'm old enough to remember Reginald Mole Husband. You're not that old, are you, Hugh? I always thought you was younger than me, mate. Who's now going, yeah, I'm not telling you my age. You can't be as old as PJ because PJ is the oldest in the community.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody's as old as PJ.
You know, PJ's 111-12, by the way, in case you're all wondering.
On a good day.
He's now going, yeah, all right, Baldy, I'll get you. I'll get you back.
I'll get you, Penelope Pitstop.
Happy days. How you getting on, mate, being that we're coming up to the end?
Ooh, yeah, I've just got to do its unseemly bottom and then I'm kind of done with these highlight chips.
That's all right, mate. We'll go until you've done your bottom then.
Yeah.
And
it's good to have your bottom sorted out before you finish.
Yeah, we're getting to that 2-hour window because I'm going to have to stand up and stuff like that. So we tend to limit the shows now for a couple of hours just to...
Well, we need to sleep as well and things.
Happy days, exactly. And like I say, a couple of hours is enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want people to start getting fed up with us going, God, these two pillocks still on here.
They're still here going on about nonsense.
It's been good getting back into my routine, I must admit. It's kind of nice just to get back to it because,
Yeah, it's nice to get back to the bench. See, the thing with me in a minute is when it comes to, when I finally get some free time at the end of a day, I haven't got the energy to do anything. But these live streams are great because it gets me at the bench doing something. If I was just like to my own devices, I'm too tired and I wouldn't do it, which is why I've not been filming anything. But this is an impetus for me to get to the bench, and I treasure it because it does get me to the bench and keeps my hand in.
Because it's all about you, dear, isn't it?
No, I mean, no. I can only tell you how it's good for me. I can't tell you how it's good for me.
It's just it's just like
That's why I treasure it.
Bless you. Don't ever change.
You can tell us why you treasure it. I can't tell you.
I treasure it, as I said last time, because of the company.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
Seeing people in the chat. Yeah, I didn't mention you, mate. But again, let's make it all about you, Fox.
I know. I was joking.
I know, but yeah. But no, I miss that banter in the chat and just general camaraderie, It's just nice to see you all catch up with stories and what you've been up to and what you're building and, how many benches you've been out and bought.
All of them, all the benches.
So, yeah, for me, it is nice just to get back to that because, if it gets me back to the bench, because it takes your mind off of real life, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
Yep.
Because real life does kind of suck, let's be honest.
Yeah. And it's all too easy to fall into the habit of just doing the easy thing, like just watching TV or just, doing something else that's less effort or whatever.
I get so stressed out when I'm not on air or putting videos out because I convinced, I know PJ's got a face palm, but I do feel I'm letting people down. I can't stop myself thinking that's just how I am.
Yeah.
And so I do, That's why I was going through all my archives and that, because it's like, I want to get my scale modelling content back up to regular releases and that, and it's like, So it'll get there. Like I say, I've got a few to edit, and then they'll just be popping up in schedules. Once I've uploaded a complete build series, then I should just release the whole series early for patrons and members. And then it'll then go on a schedule for the rest of YouTube and that over a month or so period. So just gets it back to where it should be.
Click off, I do apologise.
Chickly cough, boom, 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 chickly cough, frag boff. See what I did? Chickly cough.
Super match game, boom. Right, I think I'm pretty much done now.
Okay. A little bit of...
It's only very rough patches of colours. I'll clean some up and I'll do little joining bits with brushwork later.
Let's just pop a bit of moisture on the end of that just for a sec. I want to paint dry out.
So you can see, I'll just show while you're doing that. This is basically what I've done now. I've done this highlight colour, and then I've chipped on that highlight colour. It looks terrible, and I've not done the wheels. Never mind. It looks terrible right now because it always does when you just do the highlight colour. That looks awful. But once I put in some darker chips, and then it's got dirt and dust and mud and everything else on it, it'll disappear and it'll blend in. So there you go.
Oh, the chips. So many chips.
Yeah.
There, bung that there.
Yeah, a big massive chip here. I might completely fill it with a rusty colour almost. And just have
that for a minute. What have I been up to? Been doing different lights and darks on the concrete. Starting that just to get it going. Been round and did some rusty rebar first. Bit of colour on that. Same with this one. Few lights and dark and stuff like that. This is all going to have dust and detritus put on it anyway. And then I've just started going back over the claw, just putting a few chips in the end of it where it's been gnawing away at the concrete. I won't go too much on the weathering on the digger because it's on a dusty concrete building site. There is some rust chips on some of the arms, but this will have a few light hydraulic fuel stains and things like that. And then I'll put rust effect on the grill on the front there in some of the corners just to age it a little bit. But with the Japanese, they're really quite proud of their plant machinery. I was saying to Fox, well, you know, they'll go around and polish the Hitachi logos because they're proud of the company out there. So they are quite rigorously clean their plant equipment out there. So, and this is basically a demolition of a concrete building. Got graffiti to go on it, so I shall start working out what I'm going to say and where it's going. So yeah, a few little bits and pieces.
It looks like proper hard, heavy stone rather than bits of foam.
Oh yes, it's polystyrene. That's all it is.
But it looks proper dense and heavy.
Yeah, you know, and that's why I kept some of the contours of the holes, because when you break concrete, there's always that texture of stones and stuff inside. So, you know, why not keep it? And this is all joined with the rebar. The rebar goes right through. So once it's painted, I can slide a lot of these along and re-expose the rebar. So yeah, there you go. So that's
looking good.
Kind of where I've got to today, folks. So again, massive thanks to everyone that has come in and kept us both company. I know we say it every show, but we really do appreciate you giving up your time and coming along to join us, support us by watching or being generous in the super chats. It really does help keep this going because it pays for this. It pays for the StreamYard at the end of the day, and that's a huge buzz. It really is. A big thanks to everyone that does that. We will be back on, it's Friday today because it's the Friday Frolic, Cole.
Monday.
We'll be back Monday night at midnight over on the E.Models channel, continuing our E.Models builds, and we look forward to seeing you then. We should be back for a Warhammer Wednesday on Wednesday on this channel again at midnight, so keep an eye out of that. That'll be the regular schedule for us to stream together. Then when I do stuff away from Fox, because Fox wants to get back to doing some of his content as well, but also I just want to do the odd stream randomised where I can either do a group stream or a 1+1 and put the gallery on them shows and bring that back. So they'll probably be once a month, them shows. Thank you very, very kindly, Edward. Edward's put in $1.99 super chat. Thank you very, very kindly, sir.
Cool.
Massively appreciated, mate. Let's just thank you. And yeah, it just gives us a chance then to catch up, do a bit of gallery, do a bit of this, bit of that, and give everyone a go at being a guest. I'm still unsure whether to do a group of 4 or whether to have the intimacy of a 1+1 and then invite a new guest on every other week or whatever. I'm yet to decide which way to go, and I can't set it as a routine because but I'll just randomise it. Anyway,
much thinking is going on behind the scenes.
I just want to try and do it because I know, I'll get slapsies for overdoing it. But where me and him stream at midnight, I don't want to confuse people by going, don't forget next Wednesday it's 9 p.m, not midnight, because people are going to start getting confused. So I'll keep Wednesday as Warhammer Wednesday. And then, like I say, I can look out for other stuff that way. Anywho, I'll let you get off. I'm going to be watching cars go around in circles all weekend and doing bits and pieces, so keep an eye out for that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Again, thanks for joining us both. Do you want me to plug that you might be going on there doing a bit of gaming, or do you want to do that?
I think you just did. I'm hoping to... I'm doing some testing this weekend. I'm hoping...
Testing to stream it, you tart.
Well, I tested to make sure it looks good. I want to make sure it looks good and works. So I don't want people to have to watch horrible
I know. Stop overthinking it, you girl.
So I'm doing some tests this week to make sure it works. Then hopefully I'll start streaming a game. I can't really do building streams at the minute, but game streaming is just something to do. So hopefully next week, maybe. That'll be about in the mornings, though. That's when I'm free. So early morning nonsense.
No worries. He got there in the end, folks.
Well, you suddenly put me on the spot, and I'm like,
yeah, I know, but I'm not going to pick myself and not let people know, because at the end of the day,
I wasn't expecting that. Caught me unawares.
You're my guest, mate. So yeah. Anywho,
yes,
we'll leave it there, folks, and don't forget, we look forward to seeing you on E-Models' channel on Monday.
Adios,
until
amigos.
then, stay safe and well. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.